Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Once again, it's Joey Pinkney with another, you guessed it, coffee talk. So how's everybody doing today? It's a little bit in the afternoon right now in the beautiful city of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We recently had a White Lives Matter rally here. And for me, I know there's a lot of tension in the city, especially like with a lot of my family and friends. And for me, growing up in Memphis, and every once in a while you hear about Klan rallies or things of that nature going on downtown. Really don't put a lot of thought into it in the hood, so to speak. I'm from Frazier in Memphis, and it was just another day in Frazier. A lot of times when those type things happen. Now, every once in a while, people would actually go out to downtown to make a little noise, but for the most part, um, they didn't change anything in the neighborhoods, and I kind of felt like the same thing here. I think the rally happened last Saturday, so today is Tuesday, Halloween. So today is Tuesday, October 31st, so that would make it, what, the 29th of October, Saturday 29th. And I talked to my barber today, and he was telling me that the rally started, or I don't really know everything about it. I'm not really all the way interested in the ins and outs of it. I do really see it as being like a farce more so than anything else, a scare tactic, and it does draw a lot of attention. And it's not to say that a situation like that doesn't have serious ramifications, but just for me, I can't really say I'm going to put a lot of attention to it. However, in other news, I actually have been quiet on the writing front in terms of being outspoken about what I'm writing about, but I've been cooking up something I think is going to be another strong effort. It's this story. I'm kind of on the fence on whether I can tell you about it or not, but let me just say this. At this point, the story is complete. I've been working on it for probably about like a month and a half, solid. It's actually a story that I wrote and I thought was ready for publication years ago. It didn't make the cut for an anthology that it was intended for, so it got shelved. In a couple of years in between then and now, I've been thinking about the story, I've been thinking about elements of the story, and I came up with an idea. I had two sections for this story to start off with, but there was a third movement that I wanted to add to this story, and I've stopped procrastinating, sat down, and got around to actually writing it out. So I'm happy about that. Took a couple of drafts. It took a couple of major changes on my behalf. I really haven't had anybody else read it yet. And right now I'm writing the author's note for it. If you're not familiar with my publications, my standalone short stories and novelettes, what I tend to do is I'll write the story, but then I also will include bonus material. And that bonus material comes in the form of author notes. And the reason why I started writing author's note or making a point to write author notes for each of my stories is because I like reading stories and then getting insight from the authors in terms of like how the story was formed or what they intended for different things, or even what they intended and what they started off doing and how it changed. So, excuse me 1 second if you don't. Yeah, it is a coffee talk, and got my Halloween edition coffee mug, so it's a good mix right there. Totally forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, I do remember I was talking about this next story that's coming out. Hopefully to come out, I want to push it so that it comes out sometime during November. I don't want to sit on this for a long time. I really want to get this out there and promote it, and put it through its paces, but then move on to the next writing project. I think that's going to be something that's critical or key for me in terms of becoming successful in terms of publishing. For me personally, I need to just keep cranking it out, whether they hit or whether they miss. And can't really say I've had, well, I guess I have had, technically I've had misses at this point, but I have to admit, like every story that I've put out, if nobody else gets it, I've gone back and I've reread and I'm just like, I like it. So I'm writing the type of stuff that I like to read, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is, if nothing else. So that's that. Let's see. Recently, if you've actually seen the Facebook page intro video, we're in the same thing, or that's why I brought it up. But I recently started a Facebook page for joeytweets.com, and the reason why I did that was simply because Facebook tricked me. Um, and on my personal page, I think at some point in the past, I had listed joeytweets.com as one of the websites that I own and operate and work from and work through. And like probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I saw on Facebook on my profile, I was looking at my profile, and they asked me if I own joeytweets.com. Unknowingly, I ended up starting a Facebook page for joeytweets.com. I thought I was just like accepting, just owning up to the fact that that was my website. I didn't know that that was going to create a new Facebook page. It did. I didn't think anything of it. The next thing you know, somebody ended up liking the page. And then I got a notification from that. And then from there, I was just like, you know what? I might just give it a try. I really haven't been too keen on Facebook pages because I think that's what websites are for. But I also understand that in terms of social media, as much as you want people to recognize your website as being the first and foremost platform for whatever your thing is, in terms of like whether you're a writer, whether you do PR, whether you create crafts, people that are on Facebook a lot, they're loyal to Facebook. And so thinking about it like that, I was just like, it really wouldn't be too much of a hassle to actually branch out and put a little effort into that as well as to the website itself. So there you have it. So I do have a Facebook page for joeytweets.com. It's just started. So if you looked at it on October 31st, really wouldn't be too much to look at. I got a little banner. I put a banner up last night. Sorry about that little bit of an intermission. It's starting to get cold here. And one thing about me is I love summer. I hate winter. So I love kind of like spring. Kind of don't like fall. And it's fall right now. And I was blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, I got that little cold feeling right here. And look a little bit close on the camera. Next thing you know, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I could have edited this whole thing out, but hey, when you do a coffee. Speaking of coffee, excuse me for a second. You know how it is. Sometimes you gotta, get that extra boost during the day. Oh man. All right. Sorry about that. Speaking of coffee, when you do a coffee talk, when I do a coffee talk, sometimes I give it to you raw. So if you rewind, you probably didn't even notice my nose running until I said something. So you rewind, you slowly start seeing the glistening growing. Anyway, so so I started up this Facebook page, and just to kind of tap into the loyal readers and authors that stay on Facebook. It's like, and it's not just Facebook. Other websites, other social media platforms have their built-in loyal fan base that you try to tap into. I think another good one for authors would be Goodreads. I have tried to crack the Goodreads code in terms of making it useful, and I haven't figured it out yet. I'm gonna still tinker around with it a little bit more, but I do see the viability in platforms like Twitter and Facebook. I mean, they're easier in terms of, I guess, the way that I use them. But in terms of utilizing the traffic that's already built in on the website, that is already built in on a social media platform, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and flesh out a page. Now, one thing about these pages, and I'm pretty sure you guys have experienced this, you always getting people inviting you to like the page. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to not do that, but it's extremely tempting and very easy to do. And I'm not even really sure how viable that is. Like, how many people actually be like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and like this page since this person invited me to like it. I kind of feel like if you have to keep inviting people to like your page, then maybe it's not, I can't really say that maybe it's not worth anything, but maybe that effort to invite could be better used in creating content that will draw people in. I don't know. I'm just starting this out, so we'll see how this whole thing works out. With that said, I think I'm gonna just make this a short and sweet coffee talk. I know I said I was going to be doing more coffee talks a couple of weeks ago, probably like a month ago now. Kind of got busy with helping helping somebody out with their business, get their business off the ground, and also moving, which is the reason why we have this very splendiferous background right now. You know, I'm in a totally different place. Um, Looking forward to actually unpacking and really getting things rolling in terms of this house as opposed to an apartment. But things like that have kind of slowed me down. Also, been writing, and I kind of got into this mode where I started really wondering, like, if when you're writing something is, I thought, you know, everything that I've read about what authors should do in terms of book releases or what they should be doing leading up to a book release is promote, 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 talk about it, you know, do the cover reveals and stuff like that. And that sounds great, and it actually sounds practical. The only thing for me is that a lot of times, if I tell you what my idea is before I get it to a certain point, I tend to lose the enthusiasm. I hate to put it like that, but I don't have any better way to say it. I kind of lose the momentum, and I don't want to do that for this particular project. So I hadn't really said anything about it publicly, even though I've been extremely excited about the quality of this story. So as the story gets closer to completion, and after I get key things in place, I definitely will keep you posted on that. Definitely check me out at joeyspen.com. Definitely check me out at joeytweets.com. Check me out at joeypinkney.com. Also, you can check me out on social media websites, in particular Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Tumblr. I don't know if I said Instagram already. But yeah, you can find me on the major ones. Facebook, I don't know if I just said that. I don't know why I'm this. It must be because I need some more coffee. You know, kind of get the brain working. But yeah, that's all I got for you right now. So just to recap, Facebook, joeytweets.com has a Facebook page. I do have a new short. Actually, it's kind of like a novelette. It's in the 10,000 word range. So I do have a new story for you. A little bit a long short, I guess. It's gonna be pretty interesting. One thing I like about it is in terms of the dynamics within it. In terms of me as an author, I wrote this story called "Children in the City of the Fallen Towers," and it featured two Puerto Rican teenagers. And the reason why I did that is because the area that I picked as the setting for the story kind of lended itself to Puerto Rican characters, and so I did my best to reflect the realism of it without being stereotypical and without going too far out of my lane to try to make it seem Puerto Rican. But for this story, it's kind of like the same thing in the sense that the setting kind of dictated the race of the characters that are being featured in it. So I'm really looking forward to. Actually, it's not really that big of a stretch, to be honest with you. I mean, we watch movies with white characters. I've grown up watching movies with white characters, and I've grown up reading books with white characters. So it's not a huge stretch for me being a black person writing about white characters, but it is an interesting dynamic in the sense that there are no black characters in this story, and that was I can't even really say it was done on purpose. It was just like a natural flow of the story. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that will be taken also. So with that said, I'm just blah blah blah. Thank you for your time. Look forward to doing the next coffee talk. Have some more goodies for you. And until then, see you later. So until then, eat chocolate responsibly, my friends.